Hello, I'm Taj, digitally known as Tropic Vibes, the host of Nifty Business, where we highlight NFTs and explore Web 3.0 as we move from pure speculation to creating real-world value. So Magic Eden is currently the leading multi-chain marketplace as far as NFTs goes. And as far as Sol, they are pretty much the king. 95% of all Solana NFTs are traded on Magic Eden. So it is night and day. I mean, there is literally no competition as to who's dominating the Solana ecosystem. However, there is support for ETH, but ETH is over on OpenSea. That is the gorilla over there. And I've mentioned that many times, multiple episodes. Even episode 248, I did an episode really comparing the two, Magic Eden and OpenSea, and just discussing the two of them together. But today, we are going to discuss a few great things about Magic Eden that I really have never highlighted before. So in episode 301 earlier this week, if you listened to that, you had heard that I spoke about Fantasia and the Aaron Jones NFT drop. Well, how I came across that is I was simply just browsing through Magic Eden, and I went on their Launchpad page, which is at magiceden.io/launchpad. And right there is where I was able to see the upcoming drops. And that was one of them that was active for what was currently going on. And that's where I got that information from. And then I just dove into it, started to click. But it was very cool that there's a lot of information that is readily available right there on Magic Eden's website, which I really appreciate. You don't have to necessarily track down what's going on in Discord or go to the project site or even their Twitter page or anything of that nature. A lot of information is on that Magic Eden page, which I greatly appreciate. Unlike on OpenSea, where it is just literally a marketplace, just an aggregator for everything that's going on the blockchain and just gives it a nice storefront, if you will. And I don't think that is anywhere near as helpful of information as what you can get from Magic Eden. Despite all of the statistics and all that you can get from third-party plugins and third-party sites on Ethereum, all of that stuff is really built into Magic Eden with Solana, and I think that's very cool. But going back to the whole Launchpad thing, that's the real area that I really haven't highlighted very much of. And a few things that they have is they have a application process where you can work directly with them as far as getting the project launched and putting it out there, and it's going to be minted directly from Magic Eden. So unlike on Ethereum and many websites where you go to a special mint site or anything of that nature, with this Launchpad, you're launching it directly on the marketplace. And it's very interesting because they have all sorts of features that when you apply to it, you get into it, you can work with the team, speak with the team, and they even have a docs section where it says privately doxed or just outright doxed. And that's pretty cool to me because a lot of the time when you're even buying something on OpenSea, you just have the faith and hope that it has been trading for a while, maybe has a blue check mark because it has been around, done a certain amount of volume. The team has verified and gotten that check mark. But with this, it is pretty cool that they get the private doxing, meaning that they have actually identified themselves to the team and they work with whoever it is to identify themselves. So even if they are not doxed on the project's website or on the Twitter page or wherever, that at least you know that with Magic Eden behind the scenes, they have revealed who they are, or what their entity is, and how this thing is going to work out. And I think that is very interesting to see. Also, they have an escrow service. So, for example, with that whole Aaron Jones NFT drop, it was pretty cool to see that they have a 14-day escrow, meaning that once something is minted, the funds are actually locked up for 14 days. So that sort of gives a little bit of assurance, seeing that, okay, this is not something where they're going to mint it and just run off with it. And they have that 180-day or 6-month ETH back guarantee where the funds are actually locked up for the mint, and after that it is released. But before that, the team cannot access it, and that's actually written into the smart contract. There is no third-party escrow or anything of that nature, and it's not like it is locked up for security purposes. It is locked up for the assurance that anyone can take back their money at any time when they don't want it, as far as that one. So this service is a little bit different. Normally escrow is like, say, the first time I encountered escrow was actually on eBay, because high ticket items, they had an escrow service in which, let's say you're purchasing a classic car or something of that nature from it. Well, the escrow service would lock up those funds until the item was delivered, inspected, and so forth. And then once both parties were able to verify that they did their part, whether it be the paying or the delivery of the item, then escrow would release those funds. So that's what escrow basically does. And usually you see this in real estate transactions where a certain amount of the funds are locked up for a period of time and so forth. But, there's different ways of doing it. But it's very interesting to see this in Web3 with NFTs, and it's built right into the marketplace itself of Magic Eden. Also, they have the whitelisting, because it is so crazy, because a lot of times they have all these crazy whitelisting requirements, and they're changing the stuff on the fly and what have you, or you don't even know what the requirements are. It's like really vague. You don't know what's going on. But right on Magic Eden, there is the whitelisting requirement. So it's actually shown right there on the Mint page. So if you're going through this Launchpad, you're getting ready to launch on it, and you can see it right there. I think that is very cool that you can see the whitelisting requirements. Might be to sign in with your wallet, then sign in with your Magic Eden account and just sign those couple things, or whatever requirements they have, it is listed right there. And this is one of the things that normally when you're doing these whitelisting things, again, that would be handled by the team, put into the smart contract, but things are a little bit different over here on the Solana ecosystem, and it's usually a lot of this stuff is being done through the marketplace, and all of that can be done here, right here on Magic Eden. I thought that was just very cool that they have everything right there on the one page. They have the description for the project, the link to all the social media, the whitelisting, everything. It is just one-stop shop. And as far as their whole Launchpad, just getting into that, I think it's just very interesting how they have this whole thing set up. And they have a white paper basically set up explaining how they do this thing, how it is like working with them, and what is provided to you as a project founder. And as far as the information that they have out there, as far as this whole Launchpad system, I think it's very interesting what they have. You can apply to the Launchpad right here on Magic Eden. And of course, they have some statistics highlighting that they have 95% of the Solana ecosystem as far as by volume. Impressive. They have 20 million unique sessions per month, which is a lot more sessions than what's happening over on OpenSeas. The Solana ecosystem is very active, and 95% of that activity is coming through Magic Eden. They even tell you that there's 14 minutes active session time. So this is a very active and engaged community. So if you're launching something on Solana, this is really the place to be, Magic Eden. And this is not a plug for Magic Eden. I have no association with them whatsoever, but I'm a fan of what they're doing, and I think they offer some really great tools, and it's very interesting and refreshing, especially if you're coming over from OpenSeas and comparing these two things. It is really night and day. But going on with this, what's actually on their website, so all this information I'm reading right now is actually from the Launchpad site about the Launchpad. It says best-in-class tech with launch capabilities. Magic Eden has the most experienced team, and over 250 projects launched, more than all other Launchpads. And of course, it goes through all their list of things that I kind of just breezed through earlier as to their art development and all the services that they have, community management, influencer networks. They have access to marketing solutions, social media agencies and strategies, launch mechanics, whitelisting strategies. So this is really a boutique. Like everything that you could possibly think of with launching a project, they offer this right here on Magic Eden. You don't have to seek out one of these third-party companies and that have branded themselves as NFT project experts or whatever it is. Well, we know that this marketplace is the big dog, the big fish in the sea, and they are positioning themselves as the expert. Just work directly with them. So at least you know that they have the experience, which a lot of people do not have in this space because it's all new. We're making the stuff up as we go along. So this marketplace, having this service, at least you know that they've done this. Maybe 2, 3, 4 years from now, as people launch more projects, and then there will be some Web3 experts that can have these services or have their own NFT agency or something of that nature. But until then, I think this is one of the most interesting applications of use of a marketplace. Then they also have launch and post-launch support, so helping you to continue to build and provide utility and all that stuff. They really help you with all of those things. You have a long-term partnership with Magic Eden. So I think it's just really cool and interesting that they have this. That is a full-service onboarding. Everything that they're offering is all through this right here on the platform, just one site. And it really seems like this is an agency that I'm reading right now, but no, this is actually the marketplace. I'm reading it directly from magiceden.io/launchpad/about. I'll put this in the show notes, by the way, but most importantly, the last thing they have on this page is the Magic Eden Network. Get access to our network of thought leaders, influencers, and team members. So that is just beneficial. You're not just flying dark. So if you're coming into the Solana ecosystem and looking at this, I think that is a great resource. I mean, that is just really cool. They have the experience, they have the team, they have the network, and no one wants to fly blind, right? But going back to it also, I think it's just so cool that they have a Launchpad calendar. So you can actually see the live ones. You can see what's going out. You can see the percentage. All this information is right here. You can see previews of the art. You can see a countdown clock to the ones that have not started minting yet. You can see the ones that have sold out, so that way you can click that. Let's say you do find one that has sold out. You can read the information just as if it was pre-launch, and you read about the escrow, the doxing, and all that, the mint price. Everything is right there on the page. But then also, you can click see the collection. So it brings you right to the marketplace, and then you can start to see what kind of volume is going on, see if you want to make a trade, collect, anything of that nature. And it is right there. I think it's just very interesting that all of that is right there. They have, of course, all of the statistics that I've mentioned many times. There's just a lot of tools is being able to track data, because again, over here on Solana, it is much more degen, much more activity, a lot of trading. I think the low gas fees is a part of that, but also I think it is just the lower prices of everything, because for example, Sol right now at the point of recording this is in like the mid 30s. So you're talking about if it is a one Sol mint, that is less than $40 to mint an NFT, as opposed to, you know, if something is minting for, let's say, $200 or $300 over on ETH, someone could come over here and get 10 NFTs. So just showing you the vast disparity between the pricing and, of course, the fact that there's low gas fees, that just encourages the trading and the swapping and trying to really degen into things. So there's a lot of people that are buying into projects. Honestly, they just go to this Launchpad, see what's coming up, see what kind of has a little activity on social media, and then they speculate and go into it. Not something I recommend, not something I do personally, but I'm just showing you that there is a different ecosystem. Not everything is set up the same way, but going back to the whole thing, the main reasons of highlighting all of this is, again, not the speculative play, but the actual business model of this. We have Magic Eden right here that has really a marketplace that is getting commissions off of each sale. So they're, of course, going to encourage that trading, going to provide all the tools and statistics and anything that really encourages people to FOMO, buy into something, and encourage the trading and the speculation and all that stuff. They're providing you with all the IC tool data that you would normally see over on Ethereum that you'd have to pay for. They put all of that stuff right here on the marketplace because, again, they're encouraging it. But then also, they have that boutique, right? They have the Launchpad. They're working with these projects directly. So they're offering a lot of things, and who knows what they're going to innovate, how they're going to bring things in. I see now that they're working with Ethereum. They have even dual launches. I've seen something where some of these projects, which is kind of mind-blowing to me, they're doing like a dual Ethereum and Solana launch, and it's just really wild what's going on right here. They're very innovative, and I think they're pushing the envelope a lot more than what we're seeing OpenSea do over on Ethereum. So going forward, even if you never buy an NFT over on Magic Eden or Solana, I think it would just be very cool just to look at the marketplace. Go to magiceden.io, check it out, see what's going on there, and really just read their about. I mean, they have a solid business model that is very different than what's going over on OpenSea. OpenSea is primarily just getting commissions off of sales, but here they have a big ecosystem that they're actually building out, and I think it's very cool how they're doing this, and who knows what this is going to actually evolve into, but I think the marketplace is just sort of like the gateway, right? The gateway to everything that they're doing. They have cornered that market 95%. Well, now what? And I think that is what they're going to do. It's vertical integration is what they call it as far as like business goes, right? You, instead of going a mile wide and an inch deep, they're going a mile deep and staying in their lane. Of course, they're sticking with the NFTs and they're offering different things and whatever more services they could put into it. Hey, maybe in the future they're going to offer software as a service, you know, some sort of features where founders can better communicate with their holders and so forth. Who knows what they're going to do? I think they're just going to continue to add features onto this suite of things and really get people to buy into this ecosystem so they don't go anywhere. Sort of like what Apple does over on the iOS ecosystem. They get you in with an iPhone, especially if they try to get you in for the lower level, the more cheaper ones, not the $1,500 ones that they're coming out with these days, but like the $200-$300 ones like the SE. They get you in, and once you're in, you get a couple apps, maybe a couple accessories, and before you know it, you're a full-fledged Apple person with a MacBook, an iPad, Apple TV, and you name it. So what are your thoughts on Solana, everything that's going on over here on Magic Eden? I would love to know what your thoughts are. Have you discovered any cool features buried into this? You know, there's so many tabs and so much going on there. I know I haven't discovered everything yet on Magic Eden. It seems like every time I log in, I see something new. So what do you think I should really check out? Please feel free to reach out to me at Tropic Vibes on Twitter. As usual, I just want to thank you for taking the time to listen to this as we're learning and building Web3 together. So until next time, later. The Nifty Business Arrow is not investment advice. It provides insights and information within the space. As with anything, please do your own research before making a decision whether you're making an investment or a purchase.